Hello and welcome back to This Week at City. And oh my, what a weekend it was at the weekend. What a win against Arsenal, 2-0. And I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting that. Seeing Diaz out, no Gay, of course, no Gavardio, of course. And oh my, what a result and what a performance as well. We're going to be getting right into that. No mention of the Real Madrid game here, just all positive about this game because oh my, I was not expecting that, and what a win that is, and what a win that could be going into the season, end of the season here, with two more trophies on the line for this side. So yeah, let's get right into it, man. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and yeah, enjoy the video, man. Let's get into it. Going into the lineup, I'll be honest, I wasn't too confident seeing the lineup. I mean, Kuznov is an incredible centre half, but Ake hasn't played in so long. I thought, what is Pep thinking here? I know Diaz injured, but I thought it was just going to be John Stones alongside Kuznov, and I would have been confident with those two at the back, considering when they have played together, like Newcastle away and like Newcastle at home last season as well. They were incredible. But it was Ake today, and oh my, he locked in. What a performance from Nathan Ake and Kuznov together. That partnership was incredible, and maybe that's what we should be doing going forwards. I know we'll have 100 odd KK on the bench, but Ake, man, what a performance. And it shows how important it is having that left footer playing in left centre half and build up. It really makes things a lot more easier at the back. And yeah, Kuznov and Ake were top draw today, and they kept Gyökeres and Havertz quiet. And I'll be honest, Kuznov has to start now, non-negotiable over Diaz in my opinion. He has to be the first centre-back name on the team sheet. His pace and physicality and aggression and bite in the tackle is just something we don't really have at the moment in centre-half, and that's what he brings to the team. And yeah, moving on to further up the pitch, I just thought it was too attacking. I thought it was going to be a repeat of what happened against Real Madrid in the first leg, us just getting blitzed in the midfield, but Pep, he cooked up a storm with that four attackers just sitting between that defensive midfield when Arsenal were on the ball, and they could do nothing about it. They were like, went to their centre backs and went, "Go on then, get through us." And when you do, it's not like Zubimendi and Rice are going to do much on the ball. They're just going to go backwards and recycle as usual, and that's what happened. And yeah, thankfully Bernardo sat next to Rodri, which is exactly what we've needed when they do play together. There's nothing wrong with playing those two together. It's just that Pep's put too much faith in Rodri, thinking he's the player he used to be. Thinking that he can play by himself, which, to be honest, after an ACL and at his age, it's just not, even though he is a former Ballon d'Or winner, it's always going to be tough to play by yourself. And today we saw what happens when you put Bernardo alongside him, and we saw Rodri back to his best today. He was absolutely top-notch, Rodri. And he showed Zubimendi and Rice that they just need to take a touch, chill. They're not the best in the world yet, and they're nowhere near Rodri's level yet, and he absolutely turned up the other day, Rodri. He absolutely took the game to them. World-class performance, Ballon d'Or performance from Rodri, and Bernardo as well, sitting next to him. Now, I know all the blame from the Arsenal fans is going to say that Kepa lost in the final, and while it was a strange decision to start him, considering Arsenal haven't won a trophy in 6 years, and this is probably their biggest game in 6 years, I think you can't fully blame it on him. I feel like the whole Arsenal team just went into their shell. That 45-minute period to sort of like the 65th minute where we scored the second goal, they were shocking. Because whenever they tried to go forward, they just gave it away instantly. And whenever they were on the ball at the back, they're just time wasting. They were scared to play forward. They had no ideas. And yeah, we absolutely swallowed them alive there. It gave me Real Madrid vibes when in the treble season second leg, where they just couldn't get out of their own half. And whenever they tried, we ate them up for dinner with Kuznov and Ake at the back, Rodri and Bernardo in midfield winning all the second balls, which is a surprise, to be honest, up against Rice and Zubimendi. You'd expect them to be all over the second balls, as that's their main strength, picking up the scraps. But Bernardo and Rodri just using that experience and that winning mentality and that never say die mentality to overcome it and absolutely pen Arsenal in and keep the pressure on them. And we smelt it behind the goal. We knew that a goal was coming, and perhaps you could say it's gifted to us from Kepa. Maybe he was lucky to stay on the pitch after what he did to Doku before. The signs were there that he was moving all shaky, and yeah, he fumbles the cross from Cherki straight to O'Reilly, and it was deserved, man. We deserved to win that game. We deserved to get that goal, considering the pressure of piling on them. And the second goal came, it's so well worked. Matheus Nunes, one of the best players on the pitch for me, with a great cross into the box, and O'Reilly there again. And all those people saying Lewis Skelly over O'Reilly, they're looking a bit silly now, because O'Reilly, he's incredible at the moment. And for me, I think he has to be starting for England. I like Lewis Hall, but O'Reilly going forward, I think he's close with Lewis Hall. I think Lewis Hall going forward, that's his biggest strength. But defensively going the other way, we saw O'Reilly lock up Madueke and Saka and whoever else there was going up against him. He kept them quiet all game long. I know maybe it's not hard to lock up Saka and Madueke, but they're still good players on their day. And he did what he had to do against them, kept them quiet, kept them honest. And Nico O'Reilly, man of the match, of course, man. He was top notch indeed and won us that game, man. All right, then on to the match ratings, or player ratings, I should say. Starting off with Trafford in goal. For me, it's an 8 match rating. He made that incredible triple save at the start of the first half, and we were under a little bit of pressure. Because to be fair, in those first 10-15 minutes, I think Arsenal were slightly the better team. They came out all guns blazing, but all fire, no smoke, or not all smoke, no fire for them after that. And that Trafford save really set the tone for us, I'd say. The fans behind the goal, getting behind him, encouraging the lads on after that. And yeah, Trafford, thank you for those 3 big saves back to back to back there. And that really set the tone for us. And yeah, other than that, on the ball, comfy. You saw Kepa at the other end. He didn't want that ball at all, taking his time with it. No one to take a risk. But Trafford looked assured in goal as if he's been playing every game this season. And yeah, it's so sad that he's going to go at the end of the season because he is good enough to be a first choice keeper. It's just a shame for him that we've got probably the second best keeper in the world behind Courtois in that for us. And yeah, you can't say no to starting him. Even though Trafford just looks so good, especially from set piece as well. In terms of Arsenal, it's usually their strong suit, and Donnarumma is usually not the best at dealing with corners and long throws and free kicks, as we saw against West Ham and plenty of other times this season. But Trafford just looked confident and assured himself from those. And yeah, Trafford, it's an 8 match rating for him. He couldn't have done much more. And when we needed him with those 3 big saves at the start against Havertz and Saka, he pulled up with the goods. It's 8 for him. Thank you for stepping up, Trafford. I guess you could say it was the tale of the 2 goalkeepers with him and Kepa. One stepping up and one flapping their lines when given the chance. And then moving on to right back, my arguable man of the match, Matheus Nunes, incredible defensively, but on the ball, whenever under pressure, whenever there's a little gap to run into midfield, he took that with both hands, and he was so good at driving us up the pitch, carrying the ball, getting Nketiah on the book in early doors, which allowed Semenyo to cook him for the rest of the game. And he's got the assist as well, great an assist. I mean, his crosses haven't been so good recently, but that was prime Nunes with that assist to the back post for O'Reilly. And yeah, man, he has to be our right back going forwards into next season as well, in my opinion. I don't mind us signing a right back for backup to perhaps be a Nunes understudy for the future, but I just don't see what this guy's weakness is. I don't think Livramento's better than him, and I think Nunes, I just can't see a weakness in his game nowadays. The amount he's developed is off the charts for me. He's been one of our best players this season, been one of our most consistent players this season. And whenever he doesn't play that Real Madrid first leg, you see a big difference off the ball, but most importantly on the ball as well, of how assertive he is on it, going forwards, playing the progressive passes, playing through the lines, driving through the lines. He just offers so much from right back. And it's a 9 match rating for Matheus Nunes for me. Pure class from him at right back. Him and O'Reilly, for me, they really took the game to Arsenal from the fullback positions. And we took risks. That's the difference with our fullbacks. We took risks bombing forward with our fullbacks while they kept it more defensive and conservative. And I think that could be where the match was lost and run in terms of, we spoke about the keepers. That's also where the match was lost and won, in my opinion. The tale of the 2 keepers, but also the fullbacks as well. The risks our fullbacks took compared to their fullbacks, and the quality which our fullbacks showed as well when on the ball. When the final decision was there to be made, Matheus Nunes and O'Reilly really took the game to them. And then on to Kuznov and Ake. Oh my. Kuznov absolutely ate Gyökeres up there. Other than that snap he snapped him early doors on Gyökeres. At the time I thought it wasn't a foul, but it was a definite foul. It's definitely a booking. And yeah, nice and aggressive from Kuznov, not giving Gyökeres an inch. Not that he would do much even if he had an inch, Gyökeres, but yeah, he silenced him after. He's been on decent form to fair, Gyökeres, getting a few goals here and there, but I don't think he had a sniff today, even the shot on target, all because Kuznov stuck on him like a rash and kept him quiet, and that's prime Kuznov on the ball as well. I think there was a moment where he sort of drove past Trossard and got us up the pitch nice and quick, right decisions on the ball. Yeah, it's an 8 for me for Kuznov. Incredible performance considering all the pressure with Diaz, Gay, Gvardiol all being out, and he stepped up at centre-half. Absolutely. It's an 8 match rating for Kuznov. And then on to Nathan Ake. That is absolute pure class which he's put out there. Quality in abundance there. The experience coming in. And he just shows how important he is to this squad. Not necessarily starting every week, but that was just an incredible display from him. He's only 5'11", I searched up on Google, but he was winning every single header, every single aerial duel. He was all over it and on the ball, incredible defensively. There was one moment in the second half where I think he just did some silly chest thing in the box, which an Arsenal player ended up getting. But other than that, it's coming cold. I don't think he started in a while. And it's an 8 match rating for Nathan Ake. Him and Kuznov, they were just sublime in that game. Didn't put a foot wrong other than the chest from Ake. They were just top notch in my opinion. Kept Arsenal's, I guess you could say, mediocre attack at bay, but they're still there to be defended against. And they just kept them so quiet. when we needed them to, helped us as well. Won their duels when we were nice and aggressive in that sort of 45-minute to 65-minute period. Those two at the back just gave the midfielders and forwards the confidence to press on and win that ball high and be aggressive. Those two behind them really helped, and it helped O'Reilly and Nunes to push on as well, to take those risks and go forward, because they knew the two centre-halves behind them would do a job, and they absolutely did that. It's an 8-match rating for Nathan Ake. Pure class. And then moving on to the man of the match, Nico O'Reilly. Oh my word. It just had to be him. Had to be him, the homegrown lad, the academy lad. He's been incredible for us this season. Him and Nunes have been, for me, two of our most consistent players and two definite contenders for player of the season for us. And they're two best players on the pitch for me, the two difference makers on the pitch for me. And they're just incredible. The two goals, the first one, right place, right time, ragdolled Zubimendi out of the way. He had an absolute nightmare, Zubimendi. But I'll be honest, it's not only the goals for me. Off the ball, I think for the first goal, he made that risk to jump from Saka to the midfield to win a loose ball. And he won the ball, and it got to Doku, and we created a goal from that. All from him taking that risk and kept Saka quiet. And on the ball, he just kept it so well. And he knew when to keep it simple, just play it short, play it to the side, but he also knew when to drive forward and play the balls in behind and take the risks to run forward. So yeah, it's a 9-match rating for Nico O'Reilly. He really stepped up, and I think it really shows a lot about his character and mentality, because he got absolutely ruined by Valverde at the Bernabeu a couple of weeks ago, but he didn't let that shape him and mould what he'd do in this final, and he really overcame the adversity, and it shows the mentality and the absolute warrior that he is for this club, and he's going to die for the 3 points. And he came back so strong to score a brace, and in the final after that, after being benched in the second leg as well. It just shows a lot about his character and why he's at this club and why he's going to be at this club for a long time and be a key player for us as well, in my opinion. Now on to Rodri. I felt like I was getting flashbacks to a couple of years ago to that Ballon d'Or season, because off the ball he just read the game so well. Him and Bernardo in midfield, they knew exactly what they were going to do, and I'm going to keep on going back to this 45 to 65 minute spell and period we had, because I think that's where the game was won for us. The absolute dominance, the chokehold we had on them, which wouldn't let them get out of their own half, and I think Rodri and Bernardo are the main reason for that, for what they did off the ball. They just read everything, got in the right areas to win those loose balls as well, ahead of Rice and Zubimendi, who was absolute spring chickens compared to those two in terms of physicality, in terms of the speed they've got and the physicality they've got to get to the ball. But Rodri, I mean, I saw it in the Real Madrid second leg. He looked like a new player there, back to his best in that one. I was thinking, okay, if we could get this in the final, if we could get this with this run, and we could be onto something here towards the end of the season. And it was incredible from Rodri on the ball as well. Right decisions, the pings out wide, always perfection from him, inch perfect to Cherky, to Semenyo, to Doku. It's just perfect from Rodri all game long, to Nunes as well, and Bernardo for the goal. Rodri looked back to his best in that one. He showed Rice and Zubimendi how a proper world-class performer and world-class midfielder plays under the pressure in a final. And yeah, Rodri, man, what a performance. Hopefully he can stay like this, and hopefully we can build on this for Rodri and continue to get back to his best. So yeah, so 8-match rating for me for Rodri. He was back to his best today. World class, showed the Rice and Zubimendi levels, and he gave us that base layer in the midfield to push on and press when we needed to, and attack as well, to win that ball high and keep the pressure on them. Then on to Bernardo. It's a 7-match rating for me for Bernardo. Maybe that's a bit harsh, because I do think he was good. Not maybe as good as Rodri, but I still thought he was good. Got his little tactical fouls and avoided the yellow. He's so good at avoiding those yellows. He won the scraps when he needed to, and he moved the ball. He knew what he was doing on the ball as well. The timings of pass, the choice of pass, time to keep it and dribble and dictate tempo. I think early doors when we were under the pressure as well, first 10-15 minutes, he sort of dropped in, got the ball, relieved the pressure of the two centre-halves and Trafford, unlike the Arsenal players. That's the difference which I noticed as well. You saw Arsenal, when they're on the ball from goal kicks, just always giving it to the goalkeeper, centre-backs, and doing nothing with it when they're under pressure. But when we were under pressure first 10-15 minutes from goal kicks, Bernardo was dropping in for the goal kicks and taking the pressure off the defence and the goalkeeper and progressing it forward. And that's a sign of a quality midfielder. You didn't see Zubimendi or Rice doing that on the ball, but you saw Bernardo Silva and Rodri doing it, taking those risks at the back, taking it positions where perhaps some midfielders like a Rice and Zubimendi wouldn't be comfortable with it. But Bernardo and Rodri, they're happy to take those risks because they're just cut from a different cloth, in my opinion. And it shows the mentality they have to take the ball by the horns, take the game by the scruff of the neck, and take the game to Arsenal and show that they're not scared. So yeah, it's a 7 for me for Bernardo. It could easily be an 8 for me. Top quality captain's display, and he deserved to lift that trophy today. Hopefully the first of many for this season as well. And on to Semenyo. He had Hincapié running all over the place, as he said in the intro, on his hind legs, as Ian Wright would say, which is crazy coming from an Arsenal legend saying that about his own player. But quality recognises quality, and Semenyo showed how it's done to those Arsenal forwards. That's what a quality forward does, and it feels like, I remember on comms, I think, or someone said it, he's playing like he's played in many finals like this before. He didn't look out of place at all, getting us up the pitch, keeping the ball when we needed to in the last few minutes to take the pressure off the defence. But he also got balls into the box for Haaland in the first half, and he got those Arsenal defenders thinking. And yeah, man, it's a 7 for me for Semenyo. I'm going to say it's harsh again because I thought he didn't really do much wrong, to be fair. He created a few chances as well, actually. But it's a 7 for me for Semenyo. I think he did everything he could do right. And yeah, Hincapié, who I think has been good for Arsenal this season, he's a great defender. He had him. He absolutely had him all game long, skinned him all game long. But I like his decision making as well on the ball, when to keep it tidy, when we're winning. It wasn't always 100 miles per hour for Semenyo, which I guess could be a slight problem I had with him coming into the club. Maybe he's not going to be able to have that sort of controlled aspect to him in terms of when we need to just keep the ball and chill, but he did that really well towards the end. He kept it well, like a prime Grealish. Then on to Ryan Cherky, he absolutely took the mick out there today, and that's a sign. He's just got to start every game he can for this side, unless he's knackered, of course, or injured, but he's the talisman of this team for me. The keep he ups, it just shows the confidence he has, the ego he has. We need that ego, we need that winning mentality. He knows he's the man in this team, and we need that. So it's an 8-match rating for Cherky. His ball carrying was incredible today. He just glided past everyone. He didn't even need to do too much, dribbling past 4 or 5 players towards the end. Yeah, he is the man, and he knows it, man. He absolutely knows it, taking the mick out of those Arsenal players towards the end. You'd love to see it after what's been happening the last couple of years with them. And what they did last season at the Emirates. It's good that he's giving it back, and he's not here to just sit around and just get the win and be humble about it. Now he's going to show off and do his thing towards the end as well. Yeah, he's just a quality player, and he has to start every single game because he's just the man. He turns up when needed. Yeah, he'll lose the ball a couple times, but also he has that world-class ability on the ball to create something out of nothing, and he is one of the best in the world, technical ability-wise, I think. And he knows he's the man. And that's the thing as well. You need that ego in the team as well, to carry the team and say, hey, I'm the man. I'm going to get us this win. Towards the end, that's what he did. Took the pressure off the defence by winning the ball and taking it forwards and getting the team up the pitch when we were looking a bit tired and jaded at the end after all the effort we put in. He carried us up the pitch, and that as well. I don't want to hear anything about Cherky doesn't put the hard yards in, because I remember him hounding down Saliba and Raya at the end, chasing it down, and we eventually got the throw in from that at the end to keep the pressure off, because Haaland, well, no, they got the throw in the end, but less pressure off the defence, all because Cherky was sprinting his socks off towards the end. I don't want to hear anything about his work rate again. It's an 8-match rating for Ryan Cherky. He has to start every game, man. He is the absolute man. Then on to Jeremy Doku. It's an 8 for me. Incredible performance from him. A slightly different Doku performance. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of it when Pep plays him high and wide, hugging the touchline, but I guess it made sense to get us up the pitch. As we saw in the Emirates game, he's so good at carrying us up the pitch and taking the defenders, the pressure off the defenders at the back, just getting us up the pitch after defending for elongated times. That's what he did today, but also he knew when to move it on. He knew when to take on his man, but he also knew when to keep it simple. And that's technically where the goal came from, to be fair, him just passing it inside instead of just taking his man on, going 100 miles per hour, sort of similar to Semenyo. I think that's a clear instruction given to Pep to the wingers, from Pep to the wingers, saying, yeah, take your man on when you can, but also there's certain times where you're just going to have to keep the ball and keep it simple, take the pressure off the defence, just keep it moving. That's where the first goal came from him moving it inside, passing it inside. Nothing too special, just playing it infield. And we eventually shifted over to the right, and that's where the goal came from. So yeah, it's an 8 for me for Doku. A really mature performance from him. But when he was electric and going at his man, he ripped Ben White a new one. And maybe he could have had a goal or assist or a red card one for what he did to Kepa. He just didn't know when to say. He just didn't know when he was finished in that game. Full 90 from him. And the work rate was off the charts off the ball as well from Doku. So it's an 8 for me. On the ball, he ripped Ben White to shreds when he had the chance to, but he also kept it simple as well. Really mature performance from Doku today. And then on to Erling Haaland. I feel like it wasn't his best game at all, really. And it's a 6 for me. I know it might seem harsh, but he shouldn't show too much on the ball. But to be fair, I don't think all of it was his fault. I thought the referee had a bit of a rotter today, in terms of Saliba was just trying to take his shirt the whole game. I thought Saliba was Arsenal's best player on the pitch as well, by the way. He did keep Haaland quiet, so that's another reason for him not being so good, because I think Saliba had a really good game. But he was getting fouled a lot, Haaland, but when he did have a chance to make it stick in attack, he did at times to take pressure off, especially in the first half. I thought he did well to take pressure off the defence, but it just was a bit of a quiet performance from him for his standards. I will give him a 6. It's only 6 because he has such high standards. I feel like it wasn't a bad performance at all. We didn't do too many bad things. I feel like he still played a crucial role in terms of perhaps maybe the 2 goals when the crosses are in the box. Haaland being that presence in the box, taking all the attention off the centre halves is important because he's such a threat in that box, and it left O'Reilly to have 2 free headers pretty much. I mean, Bernardo did that as well for the first goal to take Saliba out of the way with his intelligence and his IQ. That's what Bernardo does. He's a proper captain, and he knows. He's been here before. He knows what's required. But Haaland as well, man. He did take a lot of the attention from the centre half to allow other players to excel, like Cherki. Maybe you would have had Gabriel jumping onto Cherki more if Haaland wasn't there in attack. So it gave Cherki a bit more freedom to express himself. Same with Semenyo, same with Doku, same with Nunes, same with O'Reilly. Those players all got plenty more time on the ball, even Rodri and Bernardo, all because Haaland is taking the attention of both the centre halves at the same time. And maybe he had a quieter game, but it also led to other players having better games because of him taking the pressure off those players. So yeah, thank you, Haaland. I see what you're doing. It is still a 6 match rating because I still think for your standards you can do better on the ball, but nowhere near a bad performance from him. And thank you. And now on to where this leaves us for the rest of the season. I'll be honest, after the Real Madrid game, I was just saying, get me a cup or two and let's run Arsenal to the final day and I'll be happy with the season. And there's one of the cups. But now let's get the FA Cup, man. I'm going to be greedy. Can we get to? Because if we show we can beat the best team apparently in England 2-0 like that easily, I don't see why not we can't win the FA Cup. And a cup double will be so good considering it's meant to be our rebuild season. And it will be a nice way to send off Pep if it is to be his last season. I hope it's not. I think he should stay for another season. But if it is, I think a cup double is a good way to send him off. And I think it's definitely possible if we can do that to Arsenal without Diaz, without Gay, without Gvardiol. If we can do that to them, who are meant to be the best team in England, we can do it to anyone in England. I think we can definitely win the FA Cup. And I feel like we've maybe left ourselves with a bit too much to do in the league. Just silly drop points to teams like Forest, West Ham, Brighton, Chelsea, when we really should have won all 4 of those games simply. And yeah, I think we just left ourselves with too much to do. But if we beat Arsenal and win our game in hand, it is only down to 3 points, and then you never know. But this is why I'm saying, just run them to the final game of the season. Try and win those last 7 games we have. And then if they win the league, with us winning the 7 games, then fair enough, they deserve to win the league from that, because I think we have left ourselves with too much to do. But I never write this team off. This could be a catapult and a real catalyst to us going into a strong end to the season and potentially winning the league. It's not like we're in the worst position. It's definitely possible. If we do win that Chelsea and Arsenal game, I wouldn't be surprised if we can do it. And I will back the lads if we can do it. Win those next 2 games against Chelsea and Arsenal in the league, I'd 100% back us to do it. And this Carabao Cup final is a good way to set us into the rest of the season. And that will be playing on the Arsenal players' minds for the next 2 or 3 weeks over the international breaks, that loss. It will be playing on their minds. And yeah, maybe the bottle job is coming out for them once again. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. It's a great team effort from the lads. Everyone putting in 110%. And we deserve that cup final. It was an absolute demolition job, especially the first 45 minutes. The 45 minutes to the 65th minute mark. It gave me Real Madrid vibes in the treble season second leg. But anyways, man, we'll see you for the rest of the season. Can we go in and win another trophy or 2? I don't see why not. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and see you on the next one, man. Thank you and goodbye.